In the morning on the hill north of the city, the air is fresh, with a cool breeze blowing through the green trees. The sunlight filters through the leaves, creating sparkling streaks of light like jade. The chirping of birds echoes everywhere, blending into the natural space to create a cheerful picture of a new day. On the top of the hill, a professional tree sawing team is preparing for a challenging day of work. This is not an ordinary tree sawing team but a team that specializes in using cranes and professional equipment to carry out complex tasks. They are hired to cut down large trees, transport wood down the hill, and ensure absolute safety for both the team and the surrounding people. Mr. Tung, the leader of the tree sawing team, is a man in his 40s with a calm face but eyes full of experience. He has been in this profession for more than 20 years and always leads the team professionally, while creating a cheerful atmosphere at work. Beside him are his close teammates, Nam with his bulging muscles and humorous smile, Fook, the crane driver who picks up trees with artist-like skills, and Hong, the chainsaw operator, famous for his precision and agility. Guys, today we have to work quickly so we can go home to celebrate my wife's birthday. Tung said as he stepped out of the truck carrying the tools, his laughter making the whole team burst into laughter. Don't worry, if we finish early, I'll treat the whole team to some mung bean dessert that I've already ordered. Nam said as he pushed up his helmet, squinting at the sunlight. The whole team started working with great enthusiasm. First, they prepared to cut down the trees. The large, sky-high pine trees stood tall on the hill. Hong and Tung used ropes and climbing tools to climb these trees, assess the situation, and tie cables to the tree trunks to keep them safe while sawing. Below, Mr. Fook had prepared the tree-grabbing crane, the engine roaring as if ready to start at the first command. When everything was ready, Mr. Tung gave the order, "Start sawing." The roar of the chainsaw echoed throughout the hills, creating a harmony with the birds and the wind. Mr. Hong, with his skillful hands, began to saw down the large branches high above. Each saw stroke was sweet and precise. The branches fell to the ground in the pre-calculated direction, without causing any danger. A branch is down. Get ready to pick it up, Fook. Mr. Hong shouted from above, his voice drowning out the sound of the chainsaw. On the ground, Mr. Fook had already moved the tree-grabbing crane. With his skillful skills, he easily used the crane's fork to pick up the large branch that had just been cut down, lifted it up, and placed it neatly on the timber truck. His quick and precise movements made the whole team admire him. Every time I see you working, I think you're doing ballet, Fook. Nam laughed loudly, his hands constantly preparing to tie the branches that had just been picked up. The laughter on the hill made the working atmosphere light and cheerful. Although the work of sawing and transporting wood was hard and required a high level of concentration, the whole team always maintained an optimistic spirit, thanks to the jokes they often shared. The laughter on the hill made the working atmosphere light and cheerful. Although the work of sawing and transporting wood was hard and required a high level of concentration, the whole team always maintained an optimistic spirit, thanks to the jokes they often shared. When the last tree section was placed on the truck, Tung dusted his hands and shouted, "Done, guys. Faster than I thought." The whole team clapped their hands in response, laughter echoing with the sound of the wind. Standing on the top of the hill, looking at the giant trees that had been neatly cut down, everyone felt satisfied. The job seemed difficult, but thanks to the smooth coordination and solidarity, everything was completed smoothly. "Mr. Tung, if it weren't for my tree crane today, our whole team would have had to work until evening," Mr. Fook said, his voice full of pride about the professional tree crane he was operating. "That's right, the tree crane is the best. And it's also thanks to you controlling it so skillfully, otherwise we would have been even more tired," Mr. Hong said while patting Mr. Fook on the shoulder, both of them laughing loudly. When everything on the hill was done, the whole team climbed into the truck to prepare to go home. But before leaving, Mr. Tung turned to the team and said, "Okay, let's have some green bean dessert, guys. Finished so early, there is still time left." Mr. Nam immediately responded, "Let's go, I'll treat you." The whole team hurriedly got into the car, the sound of laughter following them down the hill. Under the afternoon sun, the road back to the city appeared before their eyes, stretching between green fields. The truck loaded with wood went first, followed by a crane to pick up the trees, each group of people and vehicles moving rhythmically and in harmony with nature. Although it was a hard day's work on the hills, with a cheerful spirit, the work of the professional tree sawing team was not only completed well but also left each member with memorable memories. They were not only colleagues but also friends, sharing joy and stories at work, turning each working day into an experience full of laughter and joy. In the afternoon, when he returned home, Mr. Tung opened his phone and received a text message from his wife, "Come home early to celebrate your birthday, there's also mung bean sweet soup." He smiled and thought to himself, "So I've had mung bean sweet soup twice today."